All right, everybody. This is KF0LZX, Greg out of Monette. I guess we'll get underway with the Monday Night D-star Net. Good evening and welcome to the Monday Night D-star Net of the OARS Amateur Radio Society. This net meets regularly on Monday night at 8 p.m. on this frequency of 444.150. My name is Greg and my call sign is KF0LZX. All this is not an emergency net. If anyone at any time has emergency traffic, please call break. Does anyone have any emergency traffic at this time? Please call now. Hearing none, I'll move on to the announcements. I will be using NetLogger for check-ins on this net, and anyone who wishes can check in early by monitoring the OARS net there. The OARS Amateur Radio Society meets on the second Saturday of the month at the Happy House Restaurant in Monette, Missouri. This meeting is at 7 p.m., but everyone is welcome to come at 6 p.m. to eat and enjoy some good conversation. Individuals pay for their own meal, but you do not have to eat to attend. You also do not have to be a ham to attend. Everyone is welcome, including family members and those interested in amateur radio. The next meeting at the Happy House will be Saturday, June 10th. Saturday breakfast with the OARS Club for June will be at 7:30 a.m. at Angus Branch in Monette, Missouri. More to follow. The OARS Club now has 3 regular nets, the D-star net, Monday at 8 p.m. on 444.150, the 2-meter net on Tuesday at 7 p.m. on 146.970, and the Simplex net every Thursday at 8 p.m. on 146.460. Saturday and Sunday, June 24th and 25th, we will be meeting at Campbell Point near Shell Knob for field day and a boat activation. Some of us will be camping in the campground, and Wes has reserved an extra campsite to set up shade canopies for radio operations. Everyone is welcome, but we're limited on parking, so Marvin has volunteered to run the shuttle service to the main parking area. We will be operating under a special event call, W0R. This net is now being streamed on 59 Radio YouTube channel, so if you'd like to see how you sound on the radio or miss part of the net, you can go to 59radio.com for details and a link to the channel. Are there any announcements of interest to amateur radio? Please call now. K0MAD. K0MAD is KF0LZX. Go ahead, Sean. What do you got?
I just wanted to emphasize about the Thursday. I've decided we're going to go every Thursday at 8 p.m. on the Simplex net. So, and I'll mention it again along with whoever does the net tomorrow. I'll also back it up just to make sure everybody knows that we're going to be doing it every Thursday night at 8 p.m. And look forward to it. Thanks for letting me jump in there. K0MAD.
Roger that, and thank you, Sean, for hosting the Simplex Net. I think Sean decided to do it every week just because it's a lot easier to keep track of than every other week, and people are already starting to lose track even after the first 1 or 2 of them. So, greatly appreciated, Sean, for stepping up and doing that every week. All right, guys, are there any short time or mobiles that need to check in and check out? All right, we'll move on to the NetLogger list. AE0OC. Wes, how you doing tonight?
Well, hello, Greg, and everyone on the net. I'm doing great. We got the new alternator on the bus. It is producing 14 volts to charge the batteries, so that's wonderful. On the downside, though, I've got a leak in my lift system, so I got hydraulic fluid squirting, and I'm going to have to try to figure out where that's coming from and get that fixed now. It's always something, I'll tell you what. 1 step forward and 2 steps back. But anyway, had a good time at the Smart Can Fest. I didn't buy much. Spent, I think, a whopping $5.50 on stuff I bought. Girl Scouts made way more off of me than anybody else. But anyway, had a good time, and we got to meet some people in person that I had never met other than on the radio. So I'll turn it back over to you and let you move on down the list. AE0OC. Good job, Greg.
I appreciate it, Wes. Glad to see you're making a little bit of progress on the bus. I'm sure the deeper you dig into it, the more stuff you're going to find, but I'm sure you've got plenty of support here in the group if you need some help with it. So move on to the next one. That will be KE6GAE. Dave, I believe, even though it's not showing up on that logger. How you doing, Dave?
KF0LZX. This is KE6GAE, and the rest of that. Oh, we're doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not showing up on that logger there, Greg. But about the same as Wes. Had a good time at the Smart Camp Fest. Wore out from working Friday night and then working Saturday to help put the Camp Fest on. But it was a good day. Other than that, don't have a whole lot for the net, so thanks for running the net tonight, Greg, and we're going to pass it back to net control. KE6GAE, back to net control.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate you checking in. We'll move down to Harold. K0SQS. Harold, how you doing this evening?
Just fine, Greg. Thanks for running the net. Good evening to everybody. Nothing much new here. The airport dedication was last Saturday at the Monette Airport. They dedicated their new 6,000-foot, 100-foot long runway. I had my plane out there as well as an antique car. So enjoyed the day. Got a free breakfast out of it. XYL and I spent the morning there. So with that, back to you, Greg. Take care. K0SQS.
Thanks for checking in, Harold. I appreciate it. This is KF0LZX. Move down to KE0MAD. Sean, how you doing this evening, Sean?
So I'm doing pretty good, Greg. Thanks for doing that. I didn't know who was going to do tonight, but glad you're doing it and appreciate it. Not a whole lot going on. Saturday went and hung out with the in-laws down at the lake and did a Parks on the Air. Of course, they were doing the Parks on the Air plaque event that weekend, and I'm not kidding. Every 3 kc of bandwidth was occupied. You could watch the spotting network, and it was 103, 106, 109. Every 3 kcs was occupied. It was a disaster. But I had fun. Other than that, nothing going on, and thanks for doing it. This is K0M80.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. I seen it pop up on my hand alert. You might have been trying a little FD8 last night. You have any luck with that?
Yeah, I made a few contacts. Made some DX contacts, and yeah, did pretty good.
Good deal. All right, that's the end of the NetLogger check-ins. Do we have any on-air check-ins? Please call now. It doesn't look like we're going to get any more. Dave, Wes, and you guys make any kind of decent buys at the Hamfest this weekend?
Well, Greg, the best buy I made was a relay, a coaxial relay, and I just bought one like it that I needed a few months ago. I haven't even put it all together and used it yet, but I paid over $100 for the thing when I bought it used off of eBay. And I picked one up there at the Ham Fest for $5. I don't know what I need it for, but at $5, I needed it. I didn't need to leave it lay there, that's for sure. The only difference is this one takes end connectors, and the one I bought was SO239s.
KF0LZX, see if I can get a signal check. Everything sounds pretty dead.
KF0LZX, KA0RM. Could you hear me, Greg?
I can hear you now. I seen Heather checked in on the nav logger. I didn't hear a word, but I can hear you now.
So you can hear me or Heather?
Roger, Bob. I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Tried 3 times. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, yeah, we didn't see you up there at the Hamfest, I don't think, but we had a nice time up there. I acquired another 140 foot of Roan 25 and a whole bunch of other stuff on top of it. Take too long to tell you. But Jimmy and I going to north of Wheatland up there and take 90 foot up there tomorrow to Bob. So NL7ZG. So we're going to have a nice little outing there. So then we got to go to Rogersville Wednesday and go get some stuff over there I got. So, and today I've been out cleaning up, burning brush and what have you, you know, cutting some stumps off shorter that I had, years ago, so I can mow around them a little better. But that's about it there. So I need to get out there and check my fire I got going. And it should be all right, though. It wasn't very high when I left her. So hope you can hear me there, Greg. KA0RM.
No, I can hear you crystal clear, Bob. I don't know what was going on. I had absolutely nothing there for a while. Everything on the radio looked just fine, but it was dead silent. So, no, I can hear you just clear as a bell.
Roger, I see that 5100's working pretty good for you, isn't it?
Oh, I'm still on my handheld. I've been slacking. I worked on my Tahoe all day Saturday doing shocks and struts and sway bar links and everything else. So hopefully next weekend will be the radio.
Okay. All right. And all this mess I got, I even got a pole, what do you call it, you put up tower with. It's a pretty heavy one, but I acquired one of them, and also a Pro 57 Mosley antenna. I think Jimmy's going to want that, and I got a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I've heard you off and on since the Hamfest. Sounds like you made a pretty good haul, as usual. All right, we'll move up to Heather, KE0NHL. Sorry, I don't know if you tried to do an on-air call-in. Apparently I wasn't hearing anybody there for a while. But Heather, how are you doing this evening?
Kilo Echo 0, November Hotel Lima. I'm not real sure whether I'm actually getting through on this side or not. Tried to see what could be done, and like I said, I don't know if it's going through or not. So, and for some reason it looks like this is putting on a different frequency as well. So let me change over to something really quick.
You're making it, Heather.
All right, thanks, Bob. That's what I was wondering, because I was trying to get in earlier, and it, for some reason, it was a delay in the repeater. It seemed to take a while to actually initialize the call sign, and then it just went dead airspace, so I don't really know what happened there either.
Yeah, roger that. No, you sound absolutely perfect right now. Just crystal clear. Couldn't be any better.
All right, sounds good. Not really too much going on here. It was good to see who I saw at the Hamfest. Got a chance to talk to quite a few people, and I did actually get the new book for the question pool for the general side. Doesn't really look like a whole lot has changed in the question pool, which is a good thing. But it's definitely going to be interesting.
Roger that. Well, I appreciate you checking in this evening. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there for a little bit, but no, you sounded fantastic and glad you checked in.
Yeah, glad to be here as well. I've actually been enjoying FT8 quite a bit, so been on both 10 and 6, getting contacts on that. So it's been nice to see that there's definitely some activity out there.
All right, good deal. Well, thanks again for checking in, Heather. We'll check for any on-air check-ins. Maybe there's somebody I missed a while ago. Any on-air check-ins, please call now. Okay, does anybody else have anything of interest or any comments or anything to make before we close that down for the night?
Recheck AE0OC.
Roger, Wes. Heard you loud and clear. Sound perfect. Crystal clear.
All right. Well, this is for Heather and Bob both. It seems like pretty much every week they have trouble getting in. And this may or may not be the issue, but it could be a combination of one, they doubled with each other, and that way the repeater didn't recognize either one of their call signs, or they are keying up too quickly and locking up the repeater. But they had it, when they tried checking in, it locked up long enough that I'd even told about the stuff I'd bought at the Hamfest, and it didn't register any of that either. Sean said he could hear me on reverse just fine, but the repeater wasn't picking up any of that. But he could hear Bob trying to check in, and he then heard me talking afterwards, and the repeater was completely locked. So just something to try for now and see if this fixes the problem is wait until you hear that beep after the person before you talks, before you key up. And let's see if that fixes the problem. If it doesn't, then we're going to have to investigate a little more and see what's going on.
No, definitely good suggestion there, Wes. All right, everybody, I'll call one more time for on-air check-ins. Have anybody want to check in, please call now.
Recheck K0LZX.
KF0LZX to K0SQS. Go ahead, Harold.
Hi, Greg. I was copying you 100% all the time you kept asking for check-ins. Bob and Heather, like Wes said, maybe just trying to key up a little bit too quick. I thought maybe Bob just wasn't pressing down on his push-to-talk button hard enough. Anyway, just a personal observation. Take care. K0SQS.
Roger that, Harold. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Well, one more time for on-air check-ins. Anybody want to check in, please call now.
comment?
Yeah, go ahead with the comment.
Yeah, this is KE6GAE. Heather said she got the book for the new general pool. I highly recommend, if you're going to take it at Bob's again on the computer, that you use hamstudy.org, because to me, hamstudy.org is almost identical to the testing stuff that they use.
Yeah, Roger that. I would agree with that too. I used them there the last week or so before I took mine, and their new question pool's been out for a month or so now. So. All right, ladies and gentlemen, any more on-air call-ins or comments or suggestions, please call now.
Comment?
Yes, go ahead, Heather.
Yeah, I just wanted to get back to Dave there. KE6GAE, this is KE0NHL. Ham study is what I was using prior to the new question pool, and I still do use that as well. And prior to actually taking the test the last time around, I was getting anywhere from about 77 to about 85% at that time, and still ended up missing about 15. So that's kind of where I'm stuck with actually getting the general pass.
Oh, I fully understand that, Heather. And the book might help you some, but I do know that the new question pools are our ham study, and like when me and Greg were talking about it, we both were testing on it, and when we took our tests, we both agreed that ham study is probably the closest to the computer testing that you can get.
Oh, very nice. And I was wondering about that because I know they use that for the sign-up for the test. And I believe Greene County Aries does as well, because I think they have a testing session on that as well. But it's definitely interesting. So I'm guessing that with the new question pool, is that completed on ham study now? Because I know at the time that I looked at it, I think they were still working on it.
KF0LZX. Heather, if I'm not mistaken, here, a month or so ago, last time I checked, they had the current question pool and the new one both on there on the website.
Yeah, and that's what I was seeing too, because I was going through the current question pool that they've had, and I was looking at the new question pool to see kind of what it was and you know what had been done, and there was a lot of stuff that, because with ham study there's explanations behind the questions. Like if you mark a wrong answer, there's a deal on the edge that you can flip that thing down and it will give you an explanation. There were a lot of them that didn't have explanations as of yet, so I'm wondering if that's completed yet, since we still have the current question pool and the new one has not gone into effect as of yet, or if they've actually completed that section of it.
Yeah, that's a good question. I didn't dig too deep into the new question pool since I was trying to get tested, but before the deadline, so it'd definitely be something to check into. But for me personally, I did better. Of course, everybody says you need to learn all the material, but I personally did better just actually testing for the questions, and I did better than I figured I would. I think I got lucky in some of the questions I didn't pop up on the test, but if you get to a point, there's a part of it you just don't quite understand the theory. I think you're as well off just trying to remember the questions to pass the test, and whatever's applicable you'll pick up as you're using it.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm stuck too, because there's some elements on stuff that I've got in my mind, and then there's some of it that, you know, you look at it, and unless you go over it enough, it just doesn't stick. Or you get into a testing session, and it's like, you know, I just had this, but I don't remember whether it's this or this. And then because you don't remember which one it is, it ends up being wrong.
Nope, I understand 100%. I had to be real careful, especially that last week or so, just going through the questions, trying to brush up a little bit right before the test to try to get in the habit of not reading the wrong answers. Because a lot of times I'd read the wrong one, and that would get stuck in my head instead of the correct one. But anyway, I did pass better than I thought I was going to. So, like I said, that last week I just hammered on just memorizing the answers to the questions the best I could.
Yeah, that's always good. Now, I did not get the full book this last time around. Usually when I get the new question pools, I get the full book. This one I got just the Q&A, and I think the Q&A, it seems to me, might help a little bit more, because there's some things that I'm already solid on, and it just feels like, you know, I'm so close. But it's just the elements that I have the hardest time with are the ones that are usually what's on the test. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was afraid of. Like I said, I think I got a little lucky, and most of the ones I didn't want to come up because I knew I didn't know the answer to didn't. So I got lucky on that part. At least I felt I got pretty lucky. So, but anyway, well, best of luck on your studying. Hopefully you'll get a chance to take it here again pretty soon and pass it.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too, and I'm also hoping that at the time that I do say, okay, let's go on ahead and do this, that I actually feel good, because it seems like the last 2 times I've taken it, I haven't really felt that good either. So, you know, when I tested last year, I was having problems with gallbladder surgery and stuff like that, and then the last time I tested, I just wasn't feeling that great, so I didn't really have, you know, normally, like, all the days I wasn't working, I was hitting the hand study, and then all that week, because I was just feeling so rough, it just, I hit it when I could, but that was about it, so.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. All right, Heather, I appreciate it a lot. Go ahead, and since we've been chewing the rag for a little bit, I'll check one more time for any on-air check-ins. Please call now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, we've got a total of 7 check-ins tonight. Not a lot of check-ins, but some good conversation, and hopefully everybody will make it tomorrow night for the 2-meter net. I appreciate everybody checking in. We're going to return this frequency to normal use. Thanks again, KF0LZX. Clear.